8 wall charts breaking down football like you've never seen.
Players in the game. But that's a massive understatement. This
What he mean by understatement?
tracks dribbles and through balls per game. Through balls ain't just passes. They are defense-splitting plays only the most gifted can pull off. Plotted on this chart, you'll find the game's most unpredictable playmakers. You've got the visionaries, Odegaard, Pedri, and Palmer. Down here, you've got the ankle breakers, Vini, Savio, Musiala, and Leão. But then, 2 names pop off the chart. Wirtz, Germany's golden boy, 21 and already cooking. And in first place, there's a kid bullying grown men like it's nothing. Lamine Yamal, a 17-year-old who's not just competing, he's already leading the world's...
Damn, they put Mbappe all the way down here? 2.5? Nigga put Pedri down all the way over there too in 1?
most
Damn.
popular
I
sport
thought,
in
bro, I thought people said Pedri was like the number one, like what is his position? A center, what is it? Some midfielder, right? Like a center midfielder or something like that. I thought he was like up there in the charts.
creativity. Not someday, not in a few years, right now. So forget the talk about him not scoring 50 goals a season. What you're seeing is a playmaking genius, not a stat padder. But when I talk about imagination on the pitch,
Just
I
because
gotta
someone's
bring
flashy
up
don't
the
mean
most entertaining, most
the team.
gifted.
But no, I'm saying no. I'm asking that question because not of what that concept. I'm asking a question because people said that he's the best midfielder that we literally in the league right now. That's why I'm asking that.
Most natural
People literally said that
footballer
Pedri
in
was like
history.
the best midfielder that we got right now.
He is by far the most creative player I've ever laid eyes on. He is
They
by
got
far
Neymar all
the
the way
most
up
creative
there. God
player
damn.
I've ever laid
That boy
eyes on.
Neymar is tough.
This is unbelievable.
I ain't gonna lie.
I do not care what trophies he has won. This guy is the embodiment of football's purest art form. But Neymar and his creativity is not the only crazy phenomenon that looks absurd when you put it on a chart. For
That boy Neymar is tough, bro.
I broke down.
Wait, hold on. Is Messi? I mean, not Messi. Wait, yeah, is Messi, Suarez, and Neymar gonna be playing again? Like, what's up? Have y'all been hearing about the Inter Miami supposed to be getting Neymar? Is that true? I don't be knowing what's true and what's not. So I have to ask y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Top World Cup playmakers using advanced data. But then I asked a bigger question. What's the single greatest World Cup run ever recorded? So I went all the way back to 1966. And buried in that data, I found a name. A name that rarely comes up in GOAT conversations, but maybe, just maybe, it should. This chart shows the top 30 World Cup runs of all time. You'll see R9's 2002 dominance. Neymar's underperformance still makes
Holler? Who's that? Who's Holler?
the list. Hazard is in there too.
That boy, he didn't Hazard, man.
Messi last campaign. Maradona. And 3 players from Brazil's 1970 squad.
There's a couple people that I've seen their name. I just never
Which is ridiculous.
like Hagi.
But now look
Wait,
at this.
what? Wait, Hagi is back in the day. Back in the day, yeah, because 94. Holler is 66. Like 1966. Damn.
The top 3 runs didn't even win the World Cup. You've got Gerd Muller in 1970 scoring 10 goals in a single campaign. Far from everyone else is Cruyff, changing football forever in 1974.
Yo, I heard about him. I never reacted to him yet.
Legend, forgotten by time, known as Eusebio. With a stat line so brutal, it still hasn't been matched. 9 goals, 1 assist and 6 dribbles per game. And forget the different era excuse, goal averages haven't changed that much. This was generational violence. Now, I know what you're thinking.
I never heard of Eusebio. I never heard of that.
Greatness is missing from history's biggest stage. His highest rated World Cup run, 6.92. And in 2022, when the world was watching to see if he would checkmate Messi, 6.46. With an underperformance so insane, it's hard to believe in. For a guy...
Hey, I ain't gonna say nothing too much, because niggas gonna say, you be hating. Gonna say nothing.
chasing...
I ain't even gonna say nothing, bro.
This
Hey.
is rough. Can you really... really be the GOAT without a World Cup legacy?
I ain't even gonna say nothing though.
History says greatness shows up on the biggest stage. Cristiano says he'll be back in 2026. And I hope he does, because he still owes us one legendary run.
Y'all think Ronaldo has what it takes to like what Portugal to win? Y'all think Portugal has what it takes to win the World Cup?
Ballon d'Or winner has just pulled off, because Rodri might just be the hardest player to beat in football history. Look at this chart. Longest unbeaten streaks in games played. For perspective, both Ronaldo and Messi managed streaks of around 40 games at their peaks. But higher up, you've got Ricardo Carvalho, who was a brick wall in 2006. Near the top, you have Maldini, widely
I heard
considered
about
the
Maldini. I haven't
greatest
reacted to him
defender
yet.
ever, managed an insane 73-game unbeaten streak. Yet, at the very top, breaking a record that stood for nearly 30 years, is Rodri, one of the most undervalued players I've seen in a while.
Rodri. Wait, who? Wait, Rodri. I don't think
He might look invisible on the pitch, but somehow when he plays, his
that's
team
not
just
Rodrigo.
doesn't
Wait,
lose.
Rodrigo.
With
That's not
Rodri,
Rodrigo. Right?
City became near invincible.
Rodri.
Without him, they fell apart. This chart might not be the most impressive, but it should be, because this is what real impact looks like. Some fans thought Vinicius got robbed out of the Ballon d'Or, but let me tell you, Rodri did not steal that award. He earned it by doing the hardest thing in football,
Rodri.
never losing. But while some players dominate without ever dribbling, others built their whole legacy on that. A legacy that doesn't always hold up. You see,
Ronaldinho, that boy Zinedine Zidane
as the greatest magicians to ever grace the field. The 2000s are often called football's peak dribbling days. But with fresh Champions League data from 2003 onward, we can finally get a true look at the best dribblers of the 21st century. And what you're about to see might change how you remember some of the biggest legends. This chart shows how often players tried to beat defenders and how often they succeeded. Blue dots, that's midfield dribblers.
Modric, Pogba, Bellingham, Lampard. Who's Lampard?
Red dots, final third dribblers, where dribbling is way harder. Most players either spam dribbles with low success or pick their moments with high success. But only a few legends broke 80% success rate. Can you guess them? You were not touching the ball when they had it. This was Zidane, Juninho and Xavi, with Xavi topping them all as the most efficient dribbler ever. But then there's Robben, a 19-year-old kid who at the time was rewriting the definition of dribbling. He had one move, but no one could stop it. Nearly 80% success at 5 dribbles per game in the final third is absurd. Far from everyone else is 2005 Ronaldinho. Not only did he do it, he barely ever missed. This was the prime Dino we all remember.
Wait, so y'all be saying Ronaldinho like to party a lot? That's why he kind of like, I wouldn't say necessarily fell off, but like y'all was basically saying like, you know, he kind of slowed the hell down basically, because like he started partying, he started missing practice and shit and all that. I've been hearing that, but I didn't know if it was actually true. So like that's why I always
I was surprised to see here. Statistically, even more unhinged than Prime Dino. 2004 Javier Zanetti played deeper, sure, but that level of dribbling is still extremely underappreciated. But for all the talk about the golden generation, it was not the past that owned the art of the dribble. It was Neymar, Messi, and Hazard. True dribbling demons. No one else combined volume and efficiency like those three. You see, we remember legends by their highlights, but the data, it remembers who really did it every single game. But how do they compare to the all-time greats? Well, I've got data going back to the 1966 World Cup.
I'm not gonna lie, when I had actually watched, hold on, let me pause it. When I had actually watched Eden Hazard, bro, Eden Hazard is honestly nice as fuck. I don't know how the way y'all feel about Hazard, but bro, I had watched him like, I think like once or twice. Bro, he's shifty as shit, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, like, bro, he's nice, bro. I ain't gonna lie. He's nice.
Of this century
He is nice.
Of all time. You've got names
I gotta react to some
Platini,
more of him.
Pele, and Bobby Charlton as good dribblers. Beckenbauer was an underrated, prolific dribbler, maybe the most all-around player of all time. You know, they say Bellingham is the new Zizou, but honestly, he's way more like Beckenbauer. Then there's Cruyff in 74, 4.9 dribbles per game at a 60% success rate. Better than I expected? That's an understatement.
But he said he got injured and he forgot how to play.
In 66 is pretty much on par with Ronaldinho's prime. but only one old school icon reaches modern GOAT levels. El Dios himself, Maradona. In 86, he averaged nearly 8 dribbles per game.
Maradona was so, bro. Maradona was so nice to me.
And reinforced
when I first reacted to him, bro.
Despite a short peak.
I was so amazed. I ain't gonna lie.
From perfect, but it paints a pretty damn accurate picture of who the coldest dribblers in football history really were. Before anyone asks, R9 didn't make it here. His World Cup dribbling numbers, honestly, they're not as crazy as you'd think. When it comes to dribbling, there's everyone else. And then there's Messi, Neymar, Hazard, and Maradona. If you've ever watched them live, you know the feeling. Every time they touched the ball, it felt like something special was about to happen. They didn't just beat their man, they tore entire defenses apart with a glance, a shimmy, a drop of the shoulder. They made football feel like art. And the numbers, they back it up. But here's the thing. Numbers can be deceptive depending on how you look at them, and the most overrated stat in all of football is goals. Fans have been conditioned to think the more goals you score, the better you are. But what most fans
I don't believe that's true. I ain't gonna lie.
Newer statistics that prove that mindset is far from the truth. Take a look at this chart, for instance. It tracks shots taken. All these players scored 35 goals, but how many shots they needed to get?
When the second half started, I get to it.
Ronaldo took 227 shots. Haaland almost half. This is crazy.
Nigga, no. That's another person I have to get into. Well, actually, these two right here. I think Lewandowski is the one who got I think he scored how many goals was in 8 minutes? It was 5 goals in 8 minutes, or 3 goals or something like that in 8 minutes. I think that was him. But I gotta get into Haaland, bro. But I've been watching the games that he played, bro. That nigga is nice, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Bro, he's nice.
It's about how well, but let's go deeper. There is a goal-scoring stat line where Cristiano just dominates. It is his most underrated skill, and no, it's not scoring. It's expected goals. A stat line that has exploded in popularity but is still massively misunderstood. See, XG is not
it's 5 and 9 minutes.
It's
okay.
about chance quality. Where you shoot and how you shoot. So what XG really shows is who's constantly getting into the most dangerous opportunities. For example, in this chart, we have the top 12 players with the highest expected goals from 2015 to 2020. As you can see, most of these players are between 100 and 130 XG. Kane, Aguero, Suarez. You see mainly strikers because they live in the box. These guys didn't just get handed chances, they found them like a lion in the jungle, sensing the perfect moment to attack. A sixth sense for opportunity. But then
Kane, I heard of that name. I forgot the first name though.
Of football, Messi, Lewandowski, and with a comfortable lead standing above them all. Cristiano Ronaldo. This right here is what made Cristiano different. Not his dribbles or his passing, but his instinct. The ability to always be right where it matters.
I ain't gonna lie. That's one thing I will say about CR7. That boy.
And it is why, in the jungle of
his vision is nice.
Cristiano was always the one at the top. But if you think this makes him the most clinical finisher, you're wrong. Cristiano doesn't even crack the top 10 in finishing ability. So how do we
okay, and in this one video I had asked who was the best player, because y'all know I like headers. If y'all don't know, I call them head taps. I love those right there, right? So is he actually the number one person when it come down to headers, bro? Because niggas, I don't know if they be glazing him, or is that actually true? I can't tell the difference, because I don't know if he'll be CR7. I don't know if he'll be actually meaning that CR7 is the best person to take headers, or are they just saying that because he's their number one player?
Finishing
you know what I'm saying?
Well, you need a stat the data scientists love, but most fans don't even know exists. It's called XG over performance. Basically, it's the number of goals a player scores above what they were expected to, based on the quality of the chances they take. And once you look at that, the rankings of the game's best finishers changes entirely.
He has most header goals.
XG over performance.
I gotta react to a video about that.
Like the best of them, Lewandowski still fell 5 goals short of his XG. Benzema, Cavani, and Neymar, they're all in that same camp. Great. Cristiano, slightly above average, but not what you would call sharp. He's a volume shooter. His finishing isn't exactly out of this world. Moving up the list, overperforming by around 20 goals, Son, Griezmann, and Kane. They stand out at shot selection, showing incredible precision. At the top,
Son. Okay, wait, hold on. Son is the one who plays for I think it's LAFC, MLS. Sometimes these last names be getting me, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, cause like it be so many names to remember. But I think I believe that's him. I believe that's him.
Once more, is the little one, Messi. With
Got about Messi at the
36
top.
goals above expectation, Messi sweeps everyone. With a level of consistency so absurd, it felt like he was not human. But if you thought Messi was unstoppable over those 5 years, just wait until you see the numbers from his peak season. If I asked you to name the most efficient season in the beautiful game, most of y'all would instinctively say Messi's 2011
Okay, it is. Okay,
when he dropped 71 goals in 60 games, the most ever in a single season. Looking at his conversion, we get why this guy was melting scoring records left and right. In that season, Messi was expected to score 25 goals.
Okay, quick question. Another question. So, I know that Messi and CR7 played together. Well, not played together, but played against each other multiple times. Who came up on top? Because that's when he was on Barca and CR7 was on Manchester United, right? So who came up on top majority of the time? Like, since they don't play there anymore, when they did play, who normally came up on top? Like, what that's looking like?
He dropped 40. He overperformed by 14.4 goals,
okay.
light years ahead of anyone else. But you don't feel how ridiculous that is until you see it in context. This right here is a chart of the most efficient seasons over the past decade. After that, it's about two things. How many goals have you over-delivered, and how much you squeezed out of every chance. Down here, you've got the volume monsters, taking 5 to 6 shots a game, blasting chances until one goes
Wait, is stream lagging?
Still overperform, just with tons of attempts. You've got Ronaldo's brilliant 2014 season. With just 32 goals expected, he managed to score 40, almost 8 free goals. 25% overperformance. It was relentless, but it also means he had a lot of chances. Then there's the sharpshooters. These players hit the sweet spot. Usually, they score around 30 goals, but with way fewer chances. Take Harry Kane in 2016. Expected to score 20 goals, sweet spot. Usually, they score around 30 goals, but with way fewer chances. Take Harry Kane in 2016. Expected to score 20 goals. He hit 30, 10 extra goals. Same with Immobile, Griezmann, and Messi again. At the top, you have the guys who might not score tons of goals, but they do it with half the chances. And no one did it better than Dybala. In 2018,
yeah, I'm gonna watch that game.
The most efficient goal-scoring season.
Got like 2-3 minutes left of this.
Expected to score just 10 goals. He gave you 20. You won't notice this when watching highlight reels. But if you sat down and watched the whole season again, you'd see it. And then there's Messi, who over-delivered by 15 goals with a 56% overperformance, setting the standard for what is possible to do. That's not supposed to happen. But as unbelievable as Messi's 2012 season was, it was just the beginning of what would become the most improbable season in football history. Because going into the 2013 season, he did something even more absurd.
That's
From
crazy.
November 11th, 2012 to May 5th, 2013, Messi scored in every single league game he played. 21 straight games. Messi's 2012 season was already better than everyone else's. But compared to what came from the very next season, it's nothing. Because across that stretch, Messi's shots were worth 17.6 expected goals. For a normal elite striker, that's about 17 goals. Statistically, there was a 0.01% chance that someone would score 31 goals from those chances. Messi, he scored 42. He provided
Nigga scored 42.
his team with 25 extra goals.
Golly.
Years of my life analyzing football data.
You know, I'm gonna watch that game.
I have
after
not
this.
seen a bigger statistical anomaly.
It's not like I only got one more minute
We will
left.
see 40 goal seasons again. We will see guys
I'm just
break
going
their
to finish this.
expected goals now and then. But this, we will need to wait years, decades, to witness this happen again. In fact, you may need a lot more time than that. When you plot this data onto a bell curve, things get sinister. At first glance, Messi doesn't look that far from Dybala. But if you understand the math, your jaw should be on the floor, because Messi's 2013 season wasn't just elite, it was nearly 5 standard deviations above.
That's crazy
the
that he did that.
That means the chance of a season this insane happening again is 1 in 1.64 million. And considering we see about 150 qualifying seasons per year, you would need to run this same experiment 10,927 times. That's 11 millennia. Meaning, if you started counting from the day humans first hunted mammoths, we'd still be waiting for another Messi. What Messi did goes beyond numbers.
That is crazy as shit,
beyond
though.
anything we've seen from any player in any era. At this level, math stops making sense. You don't just analyze the numbers, you stare at them trying to make sense of something that shouldn't even be possible. From the finesse of his finishes to the poetry of his dribbles, Messi wasn't just a great player. He was the closest thing football's ever had to perfection. So sure, let Cristiano wear the crown as the top scorer. But now you know, the real story was never just about goals. It was about greatness.
You know, Dren, I was gonna say the same thing, bro. I was literally gonna say the exact same thing. Like, I don't understand how people still think that CR7 is so much better than him, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I just don't see it, bro. Like, I just don't